I have a dream, oh, I have a dream. Red, white, and blue, fly free, fly free. I believe, oh, I believe. Will you dream with me?
Welcome to Changing Times. It is Wednesday, May the 11th, and Don, I tell you what, show number 58. We've done 1 year,
That's
and
incredible.
This is our 6th show of our 2nd year. We've been blessed. Welcome to Changing Times. Everyone out there, all over the United States, all over the world, we've got thousands of people watching us, and we know that every week we have more people. I would say probably 2, 3, 5, 6,000 people join us every week. I just can't wait till Jim Whining gets us 4 more social platforms. Right now, you're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube
Twitter, Daily Motion, Rumble,
and
some other ones.
LinkedIn. So we got so many, we don't even know what they are. And honestly, an old guy like me, I don't even know how to get on them, all of them. But guess what? A lot of people do know how to get on them. And every time we add a social media platform, we just get thousands of new people that watches our show. Our show is about social issues. It's about social science. It's about things that are affecting every one of us, every show. And what Don and I try to do, and we've done very successfully again today when Don introduces our guest, but we try to bring joy and hope, and we try to always be positive. So when we deal with negative things like human trafficking, we deal with things like transgender sports, things that can be negative in this world. We try to have positive solutions and deal with the problems positively, and then put that to the Lord to help us solve these problems. And so that's what our show is all about.
And if you miss our show, you can go back and watch it anytime because it's housed on there.
Yeah, just look for Changing Times. Go to Acts Media Group's Facebook page and do it that way. You can do it other ways through some of the other. Through what?
YouTube.
AMG Broadcasting through YouTube. Thanks, Matt. Matt's our producer. He's a volunteer just like all of us are on Acts Media Group. And so we just really appreciate you dialing in. So very quickly, we've got 3 calendar events that I know of that I want to talk about. And the first one is this Saturday. And I know, Don, you're going to be there. And your song, the song that you all heard today, these 2 women, we're going to let them tell about that song after a while. But they're both responsible for the song that you hear every Wednesday, the opening and the closing of our show. And we think it's a very special song. But this Saturday, Christian County in Ozark, Missouri, Lincoln Days. And it's a special day for Republicans, conservatives, I would say even independents, someone who wants to find out all the U.S. Senate candidates and what they stand for and be able to ask them questions. It would be a good time to come. And it's from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock at the Ozark High School. So it's not a dinner like we normally have, but there'll be heavy refreshments at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's a meet and greet the first hour. All the candidates, so people like me, county candidates, statewide candidates, and then federal candidates are going to be there. And so the first hour, you can just meet them and visit with them, ask them questions. And then around 3 o'clock, we're going to go right into another room, and the seating will be arranged. And at that time, we're going to have the senatorial candidates, and there'll be some discussion. They'll all get to talk. And then people from the audience will get to ask questions. You'll be able to write them down. They'll submit those questions. And we'll spend 2 hours really visiting with the U.S. Senate candidates, which is really important. Someone will take Senator Blunt's place. And so we really need to have everyone show up. You can buy tickets. You can buy tickets online at Christian County Republican Central Committee.mo. You can do that.
They're $30 a ticket.
$30 a ticket.
Yep, and it's wear professional clothing, they said, and it's a great event. We had a lot of fun last year, and thanks to Lynn, I'm going to get to give a speech before my song about my time in the service as a veteran.
Yeah, and your song and the video is going to be presented in front of all those people. I just can't wait. She's going to be the highlight of the entire show over any of the politicians like me, and she's just going to be great. And so honestly, do that. If you have any questions, call 417-581-7485, 581-7485. You can buy tickets at the door, but we really would like for you still, even though it's coming up very quickly, we'd like for you to go online and buy the tickets if you can. And I know you'll have a great evening. It will well be worth your $30. Another event that's coming up is your book signing on May the 21st.
Yep, May 21st at 11 o'clock, Barnes & Noble here in Springfield, Missouri.
Well, very good. So good. Look here. This book is Don Blackard's first book. Okay. You got that published, what, in about December?
Mm-hmm.
In December. And she's going to have a official book signing on May the 21st at Barnes & Noble in Springfield, Missouri. I'm going to be there. I think, Faith, you said you're going to be there?
Yeah, we're gonna have a song and a dance for the kids and real interactive, and we're going to actually be throwing a birthday party for Henry Bigtree's 100th birthday. So you got to join the birthday party.
And my job as marketing is I'm going up and down the aisles, getting people to go over there and see Don Blackard and Faith Zimmer. And we're going to try to sell a bunch of books. This is a great book. I bought 3 or 4 of these books. They've got just beautiful coloring and artwork in it. And so very good book to buy for your children or grandchildren. Even adults would learn some valuable lessons.
Yes, everybody needs to be a champion for conservation.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then one more announcement. Just got through speaking to Darren Myers this morning. Darren was on our show last week. He owns Freedom. He and his wife own Freedom Encounter in Branson, Missouri. They bought the Yellow Ribbon Theater, and that's a big property with a church on the property and a home and the great theater. So I found out that starting tomorrow, May the 12th through May the 27th, you can just go online to freedomjourneyshow.com, freedomjourneyshow.com. They have free tickets available each night at this show. This is a special show of students from another state that is putting on a show called Pilgrim's March. Isn't that what it's called, yeah. I think? And it's just going to be a very emotional, very important show. It's free. And while you're down there, maybe you can go ahead and sign up for one of their regular shows where they start with
they talk about faith, tyranny, and freedom. And they take you through a timeline of that. And it's just a great thing to invest in the next generation and make sure that they attend the show and learn about that.
Yeah. So,
and if you haven't watched our last episode, it was really just a God story, how all of this came into play with how they got the theater and how God showed up in the last hour and came in with a big donation and helped them buy the theater. So,
yeah, but actually bought it, at 9:30 at night or something like that, about the time I go to bed. So they made a pretty good deal. So this is really good. So Don, I think I'm going to turn it over to you and let you introduce our guest. I'm pretty excited to get to know her more too.
Yeah, well, I met Faith Zimmer a couple of years ago, and actually I was in the process of writing this book, and my editor, who is a professor at Missouri State, said, Dawn, I met this girl. She was playing the piano. She is incredible. And I really take his suggestions to heart. And he said, you have got to get in contact with her, and maybe she can help you with, some of the projects that you're doing. And reached out to Faith, and I just couldn't have done what I've done without you. And so it's just been a joy to watch you. You're a star. Not everybody knows you yet, but everybody will know you. And so we're just so happy to have you on here today. So you're a songwriter. Yep. You are a singer. Mm-hmm. You're an artist. You do paintings, and you're just a phenomenal creative person. And there's a lot more that's going to come from you. So just say hi to the audience and
hi, thank you so much for having me today. It's so fun to be here with you all.
Yeah.
So a little bit of Faith's story, and I'll let her say it, but kind of the pandemic changed your direction a little bit.
It really did.
Yeah. And how was that?
Well, before the pandemic, I was planning to move to New York City to work on music with my friend, Adam Grimes. He's from Rogersville, and we met during college, and he was living in New York City as a producer, and I was going to move up there to work with him. And then the pandemic happened, and Adam decided to move back to Springfield So I decided to stay here as well and work on a graduate certificate at Missouri State. And during that time, Adam actually introduced me to my husband, and we got married. And now I stayed in Springfield.
And now
That's
you
awesome.
and now you guys have a band, and your band is called
Yeah, it's called Adamant Faith.
Adamant Faith. Such a good marketing there. So the song that we opened to, which is called "That's What It Means to Really Dream," I, was able to come up with some words and put them
Yeah.
together, but I did not have the music behind it. I didn't have the ability to put down the piano and the guitar and all of that. And so I asked Faith if she would work with me, pretty please. And she did. So that song was made possible because Faith was willing to work with me on it. So I thank you so much for that.
Yes, you're welcome.
And then she connected me to Adam.
Yeah.
And he recorded that. So that exact soundbite that you have there is from her band member.
Yeah. So Adam does a lot of production. He's done all of the producing for our band, and he just started working at Palin and hopes to do some production stuff there as well.
Yeah, so Palin in town, if you're wanting to look at an instrument or you want lessons, they do all kinds of stuff. And they've got a valuable person in Adam over there now.
Yes, they do.
Well, before we jump into your music, which I'm so excited, we're going to feature 3 of your songs today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this book. So what's the inspiration behind the book, and hold it up for people to see.
Oh, yeah.
And then tell them your web address. I know it's at the bottom of the screen, but how can they get one of these books?
So you can get one of these books at my website. There's an art and writing tab that you can click on, and it'll take you directly to my email, and you can contact me and buy it directly from me.
So it's a coloring book.
Yeah. So this is actually a devotional coloring book. So a couple of years ago, I moved overseas after my undergraduate degree, and I lived in South Africa and India for a while.
Wow.
And while I was there, it was really just a time of spiritual awakening for me. And I'd always loved drawing, but I really would only draw whatever I was looking at. I never really got pictures in my mind that often. And then I started just growing in my relationship with Christ, and I started getting these images and pictures. And there was one time God gave me a picture of a person with like stone or ashes coming off of their skin and light shining from inside. And God told me to give it to my friend while we were praying. And he said that someone had spoken that exact word over him like a year before. And there's been times I've drawn pictures and given it to someone, and they have been like, I had a dream about this last night, or God spoke this over me. And I just really believe that art can be a way that God can speak to us. So so this book is full of pictures, and it starts out, there's a series of devotional pages, and then it has a journal entry, and then it actually has a coloring page that coincides with the theme of that particular set. So there's 14, I think maybe 15 different coloring pages and sets of journaling questions. And yeah, I just asked God what he wanted to say about each picture. And I really hope that and pray that it just helps people draw closer to the Lord and be able to experience him deeper. So,
well, that's awesome. So what age group do you think your book, what are you trying to reach? What age group?
Yeah, probably young adult through adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's important to think, because when we think about coloring books, coloring pictures, and kids bringing them home to their mom, and when they're in school and things like that, but there's a lot of artistic talent for even young adults and adults to do. And when you take the time to color those pictures, and then you read those comments and all your dialogue that's pertaining to each of those pictures that God gave you that message, I think is tremendous. And so I applaud you for that. For all the listeners out there, this is another great book that you can you've got this book you can buy. Great birthday present, holiday present, any day present. And the same way, hold your book back up, Faith. And that book that book is a great opportunity to buy something for someone that you love and care about today. And it just will bless them. I know that your book will bless them. I know this book will bless them. And so hey, so we are in the midst of two great young creative authors over here. Matt, I tell you what, they're got great talents, and this is awesome.
Well, and you know what's awesome is that we listen to the Holy Spirit, and that we are led, and when God is able to work through people, you know, that's what his joy really is being able to work through a vessel. And I love that Faith has been that, and she's been obedient, and she's followed, and God's been faithful. She has an amazing husband that came to her through this obedience too, who completely supports her. And I know that you have to really love that support of being able to, you know, shine, and that he loves that your light comes out. And yeah, you're a lucky girl. So on this book, I just want to say, Matt's over here whispering he wants a book. Lynn and I are going to buy you a book, Matt. So today you're going to get to take one of those with you.
It's called Illuminations.
Illuminations. Yeah.
So I think we jump right on into one of your songs, and then we'll get back into the interview.
Sure.
And we don't have to play the whole song since we don't have a lot of time, but they can find these on YouTube, or they can find them. Where can they find your songs? Where can they download them?
They're on iTunes and Spotify and YouTube.
Okay, so the first song is Cologne.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about behind the scenes of that song. How did that song come out?
I wrote this song actually when I was in college, and it's just kind of about, you know, wishing that someone was the right person, and then they're just not quite the right person, but it's still happy because you know things are going to work out and be okay. So yeah, this was before I met my husband. So yeah, it's kind of a summer jam.
Hopefully it's not too loud, so
Okay.
I apologize in advance. Here we go.
You wear the air like cologne. I linger inside your overtones, just to have moments where I can feel fully known. You were the place I would hide, my secret lair where the poison subsides. Yet the longer I stayed, gray opaque scales covered my eyes. I'm taking all the air with me, I'm escaping quietly, quickly into the green. I'm heading toward the mountain ranges, carried by the wind, as strange as it may seem. And oh, I wish I loved you, I wish I could hold you and play pretend. But oh, it's got me blinded, and I am yearning to see again. Hey, 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 oh. You carry more than your share of this burden that I'm meant to bear. Didn't argue when you lifted me up, I was unaware. You know what my feet have become. When you hold me, they're tempted to numb. Yet a restlessness deep in my soul stirs me to run. I'm taking all the air with me, I'm escaping quietly, quickly.
Oh, that was so good.
Hey, come on, clap. That's great.
Yes, your voice, the music, the production, it's just very professional. It's going to make it on the radio.
Oh,
I can
That's
just-
why, Don, that's exactly why you said when we first started that she's going to go somewhere.
Oh yeah,
So
she's
she's
going
going to go
somewhere.
all the way to the top.
She is.
People in this world, you're watching all over the world, people are watching you, and they're going to hear that voice, and they're going to remember that someday you will be a star.
Yes.
Thanks.
And you know, to be a star, you have to have really the stars align, and God's got to bring all the right people to the
Right.
table. And that's
Mhm.
what's happening for Faith is, you know, they've got a
Mm.
good team that is going to be producing more and more songs. And so I
Yeah.
am so excited about that. You know, if you are one of those people that's like me and you can fizzle out a little bit of creativity, but you need that team behind you,
Yeah.
reach out to Faith on her website and see if you guys can work out something to potentially work together, because I wouldn't have been able to do my song for Henry Bigtree, and I
Mhm.
wouldn't have been able to do my song That's What It Means to Dream without Faith. So everybody needs a faith in their life.
Right.
So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to go over our sponsors, and we're going to come back and listen to some more songs.
Very good. Well, we'll do the sponsors, but before we do that, Faith, I want to say, make sure people know. So your husband, he has to be an awesome man. Very lucky to be married to you. But he's a dentist,
He is. Yeah.
and so does children work too, or adults, or what kind of dentistry does he do?
Yeah, he does kids and adults. He
Okay.
does Invisalign, and he does implants. So
If you want to give a plug for his business
Yeah.
name.
So what's
Yeah.
his business called?
So he works at Clear Creek Family Dental in Rogersville.
Okay.
So he just started that practice, and then he also works at Clear Creek in Stratford and Ash Grove.
And I believe that some of her commissioned paintings hang in the dentist office.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yep.
cool. That's cool. So he has 3 different offices.
So he has the one in Rogersville that's
Rogersville.
his, and then
Okay.
he works at the other 2.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got you. So very, very, very good. And your mom and dad are pharmacists.
They are.
So I'm a pharmacist, and
Yes,
so obviously I think your mom and dad are pretty important people too.
Yes, very important.
And so I tell you what, great to know that. Okay, we're going to talk about our sponsors. This show would not be possible without our sponsors, and we still have just a few openings for additional sponsor or two. But right now we want to talk about Brad Pistow. He is a certified fiduciary financial planner located right in Ozark, Missouri. And I know people are saying from Texas and Oklahoma and wherever they're living right now, Kentucky, they're saying, well, I'm not in Missouri. Well, Brad Pistow is licensed in several states, okay? And so he can probably help you. And if he doesn't have a license in that state, he has friends in all 50 states because he is a worldwide traveler. He speaks at various groups all over the United States. He also is a contributor for USA Today on their financial side section of the paper. That's where I met him by name only. And God worked in a way that when I was in Florida, my wife and I were in Florida, we were eating breakfast one morning, and I read this article about retirement planning. I was just at the age where I needed to do something with my 401k. I had quite a bit of money. I tried to figure out what I needed to do. And I told Janet, I said, I don't know who this Brad Pistow is. I called him Pistol. It's Pistow. And I said, I don't know who this Brad Pistow is, but I'm telling you, this guy is really smart. I wish we had somebody like that in the Ozark Springfield area. And lo and behold, 2 weeks after I get back from Florida, I'm eating breakfast at Sands Cafe in Ozark on the way toward Sparta. And I hear these older gentlemen talking about Brad Pistow. And you're not supposed to eavesdrop and listen to other people's conversation. But I said, excuse me, guys. I said, are you talking about a financial planner, Brad Pistow? And they said, yes, he's the best there is. And I said, oh my gosh, where's he located? Right in Ozark, Missouri. And so if you want to talk to someone that really knows retirement planning, it's never too, even for these young women over here, it's never too early to start thinking about retirement planning. Look what inflation and look what is going on today in this country with the stock market. So he's got plans where you'll never lose a penny with the plans that he has. And you don't have to worry about the stock market crashing another 600 points like it did yesterday. You don't have to worry. So telephone number, write this down, pencil and paper, 417-581-9800. 9222. 417-581-9222. That will be the best call, because either Lisa or Hunter will answer the phone and they will get you set up. They will send you information. They'll send you some free books. Brad Pistow has the #1 best-selling book on Amazon on retirement planning, Safe Money Matters. He'll give you that book. Also, he wrote another book about the same time Don's book was published, and it's called Bulletproof. It's a follow-up, but bulletproof, that's something that, makes you safe. Same way his retirement planning makes you safe. And so I highly recommend Brad Pistow as a certified fiduciary financial planner. Not everybody's certified fiduciary, and you need to make sure they are that, because they have your best interest at heart, not theirs. The other sponsor we have, and we just love this guy too, both of them, John Whittaker and John Youngblood. They own Youngblood Motor Group in Springfield, Missouri, and they're located at 3525 South Campbell. Now, that's where the new dealership is. Across the street is a whole bunch of used cars, all kinds, and a lot of them are certified used cars to make sure that you're buying a car that's not going to fall apart and things like that, because we know how expensive cars are today. Their telephone number is 417-882-3838. 417-882-3838. John Whittaker has been on our show. He's talked to us about a really neat car that Kia sells and Nissan Kia sells, and they actually have a car that you never have to go to a charging station. I'm for that type of car. I don't want an electric car that's going to have to go stop every 200 or 300 miles and figure out where I'm going to charge it. I don't have time to do that. And he's got a car that has a generator on the car, so in the car. And so what happens is he runs down the road with a battery. When it gets to a certain point, it converts to gasoline, and then the generator then recharges the battery, and it just goes back and forth. And so that's what I'm for. So I bought my last 2 Grand Cherokee Jeeps from John Youngblood, John Whittaker, but I'm going to be buying this next car from them, and possibly their hybrid electric car. I think it's just going to be awesome. So it's going to be good. So, and we talked a while ago that John Whittaker has offered his showroom. He's got a beautiful showroom up in Springfield, Missouri. And we'll let people know. We may have some video of it and kind of show some of the things that go on in this party. But Don and I have planned a party. Faith, you are a difference maker. I look for difference makers in my life. At my age, I'm looking for people that make a difference in other people's lives. You certainly have, and you will continue to make a bigger difference in a lot more people's lives. Don, what do you always say?
Being the change.
Being the change, and you are being the change too. And when I take her being the change and my difference maker, then you are a powerful person, and you are. And this summer, probably in July, we will have all of our guests for the first 52 weeks plus what we have now. And we're going to all go and have a party and let everybody meet each other, because we've got all these great people that's been on our show. They're all difference makers. You can't be on our show unless you're a difference maker, okay? So they're all going to be there, and you're going to make some new friends and network. And
they're going to be our band, Adamant Faith.
Yeah, I think we're going to have you guys, and I'll tell you who the other person is, and you'll love him too. Louis Michael is going to, he's going to sing Elvis. He's going to do Elvis songs, and he did Elvis when he was younger, and he always laughs now because he said, I can't fit in the jumpsuit like I did when I was young, but he can sure sing. He can sure sing. And so he's going to perform. You guys can perform. We're going to have great food, a lot of fun and stuff like that. Springfield Business Journal will be chronicling the whole thing, taking pictures and writing articles. So it's just going to be cool. But our other sponsor, like I say, Youngblood Motor Group, we're going to get back to the subject. So they do sell Nissan, Kia, just one of the things I like, and then we'll get back to the show. They're the only people that I know of, and you two could do this. I can't do this, but you could actually, Matt, you could probably do it. You could go online. You don't have to get on the telephone like I do. Go online, and you can actually buy a car from them. Okay. You can trade your car in. You can do all of it online. You have to talk to a person. Then they're going to deliver the car to your driveway. and you have 72 hours. You can put the wife in the wife's side, or maybe she's going to be the driver, and you put the husband on the other side. You know, you get to choose. You women get to choose, and then you put the kids in the back seat. And if you don't have any kids, put the dog in the back seat. Put the luggage. Check it all out. Kick the tires. Drive to the grocery store. Drive around the block. Just do all kinds. You have 72 hours to decide whether you want to buy that car or not. If you don't want to buy it, call them back up. No, don't call them back up. Email them back. Get online and say, hey, I want a different car. I want a different color. I want a different car. And they'll do that for you. Now, 43 years in business, longest family-owned dealership in Southwest Missouri. 43 years, and they're the only ones that do that. That's awesome.
Yes, Lynn. And if you have a used car, call them up and they'll give you a quote right there of what they would buy your used car for. So they're really looking at used cars. I actually got a phone call from them last week, and I said, you guys are the sponsor of our show. And yes, if I have something to sell, I'll be calling you guys.
Yeah. So very good. 2 great sponsors. We're going to soon have another one. Everyone's going to know this guy because he's been on our show, and we're excited to kind of work out the details with him. Hopefully this week, or maybe next week, we can announce that, and that's going to be good. So let's go ahead.
We couldn't do this show without our sponsors, Lynn.
No.
So.
And actually our sponsors, while you look at our equipment for around the world, you're looking at our equipment. And we're proud of our equipment, but you know what? It's not the same type of equipment I had in my radio show for 7.5 years. I had state-of-the-art, the best of everything. What I really want, and Don wants, is we want to have a phone system, and it costs some money, but we want a phone system for our show and for the other shows on Acts Ministry. So that way, Faith, when you're singing this beautiful song and you touch someone and somebody wants to talk to you in another state or another country, we want them to be able to call in now, right now, and we can talk to you. And I think that's just going to make our show so much better. So we're saving our pennies right now, and we're trying to raise money to have better equipment and more equipment. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, we're back with Faith Zimmer, and we're going to go over 2 more of her songs I'm really excited to share. But you have potentially, if the weather holds out, if you are local, there is a show that's going to take place. Tell them about that.
Yeah, that's happening this Friday. Adamant Faith is playing a show in my friend's mom's neighbor's backyard. It's at 1320 East Lafayette Street. And it's just a fun outdoor show to kick off the summer. So we'll have a lot of original songs by myself and Adam, and then Adam's brother Jared also writes. And then we'll have a break in the middle where my husband Sam will play some bluegrass.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Cool. And we just need to bring lawn chairs and.
Yeah, just bring a lawn chair. Yep. And there'll be food and lots of things. And I'll sell some of my books.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so what time?
It's at 6:30 and entrance is totally free.
Yes, you and Janet would enjoy this show.
Hey, I'm going to Friday.
Yeah, this Friday. If it rains, it'll be called off. So
Okay.
we'll just pray that it doesn't rain.
Yeah, I think there's a chance of rain Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay.
Well, Lynn, May 21st at the evening time, I'm actually going to be speaking at Northside Assemblies of God. There's going to be 5 different women speakers, and I'm going to buy one of Faith's books, and I'm going to do a raffle because it's the perfect opportunity for someone to win a book in our group of girls that's going. So that's going to be fun.
Okay. Well, you're going to buy a book.
Buy a book for Matt, and I'm going to buy a book for a giveaway.
I'll buy a book for Matt. I may buy another book today too. So we're going to buy some. You're going to sell some books today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now, so you're a composer. You know,
I am, yeah.
This is different than just what you hear on the radio sometimes. You do choir, and you're very sought out. I've been hearing your music at all these different universities, and tell us about that side of your artistry.
Yeah, so I write music primarily for choirs. I've done a couple pieces for orchestra as well. So I've written for like the Texas All-State Choir. That's the one that you'll hear in just a minute. And I've written some for Missouri State, for Miami University in Ohio, for several different churches and high schools, and yeah.
Well, you were a member of the Missouri State Choral Group.
Yeah, so Missouri State Chorale. Yeah.
Chorale.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you that you have to be good. You all were very talented large group, pretty large group.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, and just very talented. You guys did the logo, the jingle for Family Pharmacy.
Yes,
And
we
you
did,
won, I think you won $2,000 or $3,000. I think. I
Yeah.
remember, yeah. So that was awesome. We're gonna play that someday too on my show
Cool.
because
Awesome.
that will just remember you and say Faith was in that song.
So tell them the name of this song.
The song we're about to play
Yes.
is it's called Laus Trinitati. It's actually in Latin. So it's a Hildegard von Bingen text. So she was a mystic from I think like the 11th century, and she saw a lot of visions of God, and she wrote a lot of poetry in Latin about what she saw. So this particular poem is about the mystery of the Trinity and how the Trinity is the source of all creativity, and how it's just so mysterious that as humans, we are involved in it. So I wrote this piece for the Texas All-State Men's Chorus for 2020. And it was premiered a month before COVID hit.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, are you guys ready?
We're ready.
All right, here we go.
That was beautiful.
That is. That just. I tell you what, you need to play that at Red Rock. Have you ever been there and listened to a concert?
Mm-mm.
Jan and I got to go there, and that music. That's what I could hear with all that resonation.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome.
Hmm.
So, do you produce the music and you wrote the song? Do you produce that music too? Tell people.
No, so I
Oh,
didn't produce that.
Oh,
So
oh.
for my composition job, I just create the score.
Create the score. Okay.
And then I give it to the conductor, and they work with
do
the
it.
choir. And then, so this was at Allstate. So they had
Mhm.
professional
Yeah.
producers come in and record it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
So,
Lynn,
yeah.
one day I
Very
was
good.
on a plane and I looked at this gentleman and he was just so dapper. He was so put together. And I was like, I have to ask you what you do. And he was like, I'm the head of the Boston Children's Choir. And Faith's like, we're friends. She knows everybody. It's that connection that you just, the
Yeah.
artists know each other. Well,
Mhm.
I don't know how much time we have left, but our next song is very meaningful to you because
Yeah.
this is the song you came down the aisle to. And we have 7 minutes, so we have just enough time to play this song. And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, this song, when I first started dating Sam during lockdown, I one night just came home and this song just came out of nowhere. And it was almost prophetic in a way because I didn't know like that we were going to get married. I didn't know how serious it was, but I just knew something was different about him. And this song just came. And God always like speaks to me in the number 333. Every time I see that number, I just know that God is with me. And by the end of this song, once we produced it and got it out, I didn't know how long it was going to be, but it's 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
Awesome.
It's like,
And the
wow.
name of the song is Suddenly.
Suddenly, yep.
And suddenly it happened.
Yes, very suddenly.
So, if you are a person, we're going into wedding season. And if you don't know what song you're coming down the aisle to and you want to have an awesome song, I would reach out to Faith, and she might even come to your wedding and sing it if you work a deal out with her. So, well, let's play that song, Matt.
All right, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Paige, you didn't know I'm a singer too.
Oh, you are?
Not really. Not really. I just act like I sing.
Why is happiness a bit contagious? Smiling ear to ear is just outrageous. I've been living life through dusty pages till you caught my eye, quite courageous. And all these stirrings that I know from some time ago, maybe I'll let them go. And gee, what a time to be trapped in uncertainty. Suddenly, suddenly. Suddenly, suddenly, I had gotten used to compromising, but the things you say sure are surprising. As I talk with you, I'm realizing that soft-spoken sun is slowly rising. And all these stirrings that I know from some time ago, maybe I'll let them go. And gee, what a time to be trapped in uncertainty. Suddenly, suddenly. What a silly thing to be afraid of. Stand up tall now, let's see what you're made of. Oh, you send me reeling in this state of wanting to be real. Take off this makeup. And all these fearsome things I know from some valley low, maybe I'll let them go. And gee, what a time to be striving so carefully. Suddenly, suddenly I'm free. Suddenly, suddenly, suddenly set free.
Wow.
One simple but brilliant
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely
That's
beautiful.
That is amazing. I tell you what, I'm sure you were just beautiful that day and singing that song. I could imagine not only saying, but a whole bunch of people saying, I do. I tell you what, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So
They played a song together.
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm anxious to meet Sam. I'm going to try to, Jan, I'll try to be there this Friday.
Yes, yeah.
And honestly, we're so glad that you're here today.
Yeah,
you
thank
are
you so much for
different.
having
You
me.
are a difference maker.
Yes, and
you're being the change.
she's going places. I love her quote on her website, Lynn, and it says, "Let the beauty you love be what you do."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great quote. That's a great thing to live by. So I hope everyone out there has been blessed today and had a little joy in their hearts today, in their life, and stuff like that. two great creative women over here, Don and Faith. Next Wednesday, we're going to have two more women on our show. Matt, we're kind of getting outnumbered by people that are difference makers that are women. But next week, we have elder law attorneys. Something that Jim Whining, our CEO and Bishop of Acts Ministry, had talked about, wanted us to get some elder law attorneys on our show. Not everybody knows what elder law is, and it's obviously about people that take care of older people's legal matters. So next Wednesday, be sure and do that. Everyone have a great week, and we'll be back next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Thanks, Faith. Thanks
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much.
Thanks,
Thanks
Don.
for having
Matt,
me.
good job.
1, 2,